Let me get started. Just a second. Alright. Now today should be a little bit different. I have my monster. It is a ultra peachy keen monster. Whatever that means. It's pretty good. This is my first time drinking a peachy monster. I think the only other monster I've ever had, I always drink the original one, if given the option. There was one time, though, that I chose to drink, forget what it's called. It was almost like a fruit, not a fruit punch, but anyways. Yeah. Moving on. My brain's not on yet. This is my first sip of the monster today, so. It was some kind of fruit. Anyways, it tasted similar to fruit punch, that monster. I wasn't the biggest fan. It was okay, but at the end of the day, it was practically juice. Rather than... Monster has a specific taste, I expect. So to have it taste like juice, it's kind of like, I don't really know if I want to... I don't know. I used to be like a heavy juice guy. But nowadays I'm very much a soda or a coffee guy. Or energy drink monster. But tomato, right? Anywho, so the plan today is to play some Rogue Trader because it's been a while. Let me check. Okay, so sorry, this is day month, so it's been about a month since I played this. Even though I feel like I just played this. But yeah, it's been a bit since we played this last, and it's a lot louder than I remember. Hope it's not too loud for you guys. It seems a lot louder today. There we go. But yeah, we'll play a bit of Rogue Trader today, and then we'll kind of play by ear for the rest of the day. I have a bit of a hard cutoff today. I mean, I usually end around 2 regardless, but I can't go much further than 2 today. I've got stuff I gotta take care of this afternoon, so... but yeah, we got a lot of time until then, so... I can fit in a lot of things, I think. A lot of things to do, but first...
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk, Shireen?
But first, a little bit of Rogue Trader. Jay flashes you a welcoming smile, rolling a coin across the knuckles of her augmented fingers. Oh, that's right, I think I left off talking to Jay. And welcome into Avarice. Welcome in. How are you? Welcome to Rogue Trader. And your model is so smooth. Holy hell. Isn't it? But yeah, a friend of mine took care of this, so. A friend of mine I met through street has come out of retirement to make a model for me. So, here we are. But this model was made about a year ago, probably. Also, I have 2 eyes. I can turn it off and on. Or none. But yeah. Lamau Good trying to read my name. Would you prefer Reese? Ava? Avaris? Avaris? And also, do you like Warhammer 40k? So I was just saying a moment ago, but just woke up. I'm only just now drinking my Monster Energy, so my brain's still warming up. Ovaries. Is that actually how you? Ovaries. Is that what you want to be called? Ovaries. Perfect. And I have 2 eyes. Mr. Flex over here. What can I say? I've got them both. But yeah, I record my model off of an iPad that sits right in between my 2 monitors. It doesn't sit underneath one, so sometimes my head tracking gets kind of weird. I'm looking at my left monitor right now. And it's supposed to be avarice, which is a fancy word for greed, but it was taken, so we have what we have. Ah, nice. Well, we take what we can get. That's real. And I just turned my air conditioner on because it's way too hot. That's okay. Avarice. I'll get there. I'll just have to look up how to pronounce it. But how are you today? I need to remember exactly what I was talking to. Oh yeah, it was Jai as well. I've been calling her Jay this whole time. Jai? I'm pretty sure it's Jai. I think when I last left off, I was talking to Jai about just stuff in general, and then I decided I'll do this next stream, and then I proceeded to take a break. Tell me about your business in the Coronis Expanse.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people. Having the right connections and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum in the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how much they charge for any particular curio at the Footfall Market. Not even the most cunning Aji will deceive you as long as I am with you, Shireen. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too, if your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
Right. And Avarice says, I'm great, thank you. I was streaming the other day and the game was downloaded, not really legally, okay. And my internet died midstream. And I think I got crypto mining installed or something. Oh boy. I mean, it goes on sale for like 17. Well, I mean, I guess not everyone has 17 to spare for the game. But did you just get the game? The game is a lot longer than I thought. And I kind of dilly-dally a little bit when I play this game. I mean, as you can see, I talk between dialogue options. But this game's really, really long. Like, I think I'm maybe like 20% through the game, and I've been playing for like 40 hours. It's a lot. It's a lot longer. And you asked me about Warhammer, and I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what this game is. I came to look at the fancy VTuber model, and I was playing another game, not this one. Ah, nice. Am I advertised for you on main or something? But nice. Highly recommend Warhammer 40k. Highly recommend. If you like, I was gonna say Star Wars, but that's not quite right. If you like Star Wars, but it's more sci-fi and more angry people shooting each other, then Warhammer 40k is for you. But it's kind of similar to Baldur's Gate without the presentation of a lot of the 3D animation. No, not as advertised. I found you myself. Check out low viewer streams to have a Yap Fest. Ah, I see. Well, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, usually for me, Saturdays tend to be pretty on the quieter side. It used to be that my weekends used to be kind of a lot more busy, but nowadays my Monday, Wednesday, Friday tends to be more Yap Fest, and then Saturday tends to be kind of quiet. I guess it kind of depends what I'm playing too. But for the most part, I've been trying to do more story stuff on the weekends. Thus, Jai is here. So, sorry. My brain's still not on yet. Okay, anyways. Do you do business with enemies of humanity? I don't know if I want to talk to Jai about all this stuff. I've been, like, going through every dialogue. Excuse me. I've been going through every dialogue option.
I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
I don't think I really need to. Maybe from now on, I'll just pick the stuff that only matters. Matters to the story. Because some of this is... like, I listen to it, and then I forget I even heard anything about it, you know? So, I think I'll just skip some stuff. But do you have a pet? My cat is watching your stream with me now. Clingy baby. I do not. I used to have 2 pet mice, though. Back in... how old was I? I think I was like 5th or 6th grade. I was in like late elementary, early middle school. I had mice for 2 years. Once upon a time. So, teaches you responsibility a little bit. But as for like larger animals, no. I'm afraid of dogs though. So, the dogs are out. My family likes dogs. I'm scared of dogs. And I think my mom's allergic to cats. So I don't think we could get a cat. So, pretty much all pets are kind of off the table, unfortunately. But 2 mice, aw cute. I wanted a rat before, but now I got a kitty. So it's not the wisest idea. I don't know. I like mice over rats because the mice generally remain kind of small. And I don't know. I like the small rodents. But I'm afraid of dogs too. Their barks are scary. No, when I was young, my neighbor had a golden retriever. And I knew my mom liked dogs, so I asked my neighbor if he could bring his dog over for my mom to pet. And so my neighbor walked his dog over. My mom came outside. And my mom was like, she had like crouched over. She put both hands on like the dog's head and was like, I don't remember what she was saying. It was probably like, oh, you're so cute or whatever. Anyway, that dog freaked out and like bit my mom in the leg and there was blood everywhere. She had to go to the hospital to get stitches. So it turns out that golden retriever was like was mixed with like a Shar-Pei or something, and I think Shar-Peis are supposed to be slightly more aggressive of a dog breed. So it wasn't just pure golden retriever. Anyways, but yeah, my mom had to get stitches. I remember we had to like, me and my dad were like eating McDonald's in the hospital parking lot waiting for her stitches to be done. Good times. Good times. But yeah, that's why I'm afraid of dogs. To me, like, I don't really mind when dogs mind their own business, it's whatever. I don't like when dogs come up to sniff me. It kind of feels like, to me, it feels like if a stranger was coming up to you and just, like, holding a knife, like, right next to your leg for no apparent reason. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like, you probably won't stab me, but I don't really know for sure, you know? So for that reason, I'm not the biggest dog fan. So, Anyways, I think they're cute though. I just don't want to be too close to a dog. But welcome into Appy, welcome in. Sniff them back to assert dominance. Oh boy. I mean, I could, but I don't know. Get them louder. And hashtag trauma dumping stream, but yeah, their teeth are scary too, not gonna lie. Cats just feel a bit safer for my anxious butt. And no, cats gonna scare me too. Welcome into Azor. Welcome in. Cats scare me too because, like, they scare me less, generally. But the claws kind of scare me. I don't know. I don't want to get lacerated by long cat claw, you know? I don't want to get bit either. I feel like with cats... with cats, like, I could get bit, not super likely. I could get scratched, not super likely. But if I did... oh boy. I'd be scared. But... I don't know, man. It shows I'm the alpha. Cat scratches aren't that... okay, not like the playful scratches. I'm talking like the cat is like purposely trying to like claw you, you know? I have the scars to prove it's not that bad. It's not that bad. The scar is on my skin forever. Due to how deep it was, but, you know, not too bad. Not too bad. But I saw this video the other day of, I got major brain fog, dude. I don't remember what I was going to say. It's pretty bad. Oh, so I saw this video the other day of this. It was like a collage or a compilation of people barking at their dogs. And kind of scary, man. I mean, I know that they like trust their dogs and all, but some of those dogs are like there was this one, I think the first video in that compilation, this girl was like sitting on the couch with her pit bull, and she like barked at it and then like stared into its face, and the dog was like ears back, just like wide-eyed. Like it didn't look like it was surprised. It like looked like it was like, say it again, I'll bite your face. It's pretty scary. The other dogs, like, some of them were pretty chill about it. They get barked at and they're just kind of like confused. But yeah, that dog looked like it was ready to throw down. It's kind of scary. So yeah, and then there was like a chihuahua that was some guy barked at his chihuahua, and the chihuahua started growling immediately. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But Appy says to claw him back to assert dominance. I actually keep my fingernails really short. I don't like long fingernails. In part, well, in general, I don't like long fingernails, but especially because with my job, I gotta touch a lot of other people's computer equipment. And other people, dude, other people's computer equipment is nasty. Like, sometimes people keep a pretty nice workstation, and other times it's like the mouse is so old that there's like an indentation where their thumb should be because of how old the mouse is. Or it's like covered in like skin grit, you know? It's nasty. Anyways. But dementia Andy, sorry Lamau. No need to worry. My brain is going. I don't know. Ever since my brain wasn't super clear before COVID, but ever since COVID, I feel like I've been in like a haze. And I know I'm in a haze because every once in a while I get a moment of clarity where I'm like, oh, I'm awake. And then the brain fog sets back in. So, I'm on autopilot all the time. It's pretty bad. But Chihuahua, however you read it in English, are little imps from hell. No, if they're nice, they're very cute. But if they're like not trained well and just barking everywhere, I don't know, dude. Like I can't handle dog barking. Repetitive noises in general, I'm not a big fan of. But I'm not a big fan of the barking noises either. But are you saying COVID as in you've had it recently, or you mean the pandemic in general? I had COVID about, I think at the beginning of July, about 3 months ago. I had it for the second time. And then I had COVID about 2 years ago, like last January 2024, I think. No. No, wait, no, that's when I got stitches. I had COVID before that, like, within the past 2 years. But yeah, COVID sucks. Like, the first time was pretty bad. It felt like being sick, just like worse. Like I had a lot of it was like cough, runny nose. I had like a lingering cough for like 2 months after I had COVID. And I remember back when I was living in my apartment, I was living alone, and my mom was concerned for my health and not heading outside because I needed groceries. So she got me like some like groceries DoorDash to my apartment or something, and I remember I had to go down to the lobby briefly to like get my groceries, and I remember just kind of like stumbling through the hall. You know, in some like story video games where like the main character is injured and the whole screen is red and they're just kind of like wobbling through whatever, moving at like a mile an hour. That was me. I was like on the brink of death, just like wandering my way down the hall. That was the first time, and then the lingering cough. The second time, a few months ago, there's this thing called Paxlovid or something that was prescribed by my doctor, which I guess didn't exist the first time I got COVID. I don't know if I saw the doctor the first time, actually. Anyways, so the time I got it a few months ago, I got the Paxlovid pills or whatever. You're supposed to take them, I think it was like once in the morning and once at night. And what it does, it's pretty interesting. It doesn't get rid of COVID, but it stops COVID from spreading. So that, or not spreading, kind of. Well, something like it stops it from multiplying in your body so that your immune system can fight the existing COVID. So it's not going to get worse. It's going to stop the COVID from like increasing. That way, your body can fight the existing COVID. But the problem is that you have to take it for like 5 days straight, morning and at night. And for the next like 8 hours after you take the pill, your mouth tastes like you're like, I imagine it's what like a copper doorknob tastes like. Imagine just like going to a public whatever and just like putting your whole mouth around the doorknob. It fills your mouth with like a metal taste that just doesn't go away. Like even if you eat something else to like override it, it'll, like you could drink like a Monster, for example, and it'll override the taste for as long as the Monster's in your mouth. And then once you've swallowed your drink, 5 seconds later you have the metal taste again. Anyway, but Appy says, outside? I hate outside. But yeah, inside is better. What can I say? I agree. But I remember when I was in high school, I got this nasty cough, not COVID, just cough. And I used to cough every 5 to 10 seconds for a week, and every time I needed to do it during the lessons, wanted to get stripped down. Real. That's real. Lingering cough is really annoying. I'm glad that I don't have that anymore, but the lingering COVID cough sucked. Like, especially, I feel bad for you guys, especially, because I was doing it on stream too, coughing for like 2 months. But yeah. But like total silence and me coughing like a dying Victorian child every now and then. That's real. That's real. I don't know. Coughing can be kind of embarrassing. But it is what it is. I mean, the only thing I don't like... I hate children. Sorry. Sorry for anyone out there that has kids. I hate kids. Anyways, on the topic of my hatred of children, kids that don't know how to cover their mouth, they just like look at you dead in the eyes and just open their mouth and they're like, it's disgusting. I hate children. I'm half joking, but this is one of those times that I'm not sure if I'm joking. Do I hate kids? No, but also yes. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know if I'm joking. Anyways, but ASMR coughing into my chatter's ears until they fall asleep. But old people do that too. The cycle of life, the regression into childhood. Like, if you have like dementia or some form of cognitive impairment as a result of your age, that I'll give a pass for that. That's like you can't help that. But if you've got no cognitive impairments as a result of your age and you're just coughing without covering your mouth, yeah, gross. Absolutely nasty. And they don't. Well, some do. Some do. But yeah, I do agree. Some don't. Half the old people I dealt with didn't have any form of cognitive ailment, and yet they still did that. Yes. The secret is to open your mouth and cough back at them. Mm-hmm. See who gets sick first. Truly. I feel like once you... I heard a saying that, like, once you get old enough, you kind of stop caring. And I think that is true to an extent. Like, I'm really concerned about, like, microplastics and, you know, the possibility of that clogging up my brain over the course of the remainder of my life, assuming I die of old age. But, I mean, if I was, like, 70 and I was filled with microplastics or radiation or something, I probably wouldn't care. You know? Anyways. But Dementia Andy defending other Dementia Andys. What can I say? But yeah, in all seriousness, though, I am low-key at a higher risk of dementia. My family has, like, a history of dementia, it seems like. Like, I think on my mom's side, it seems like dementia is a lot more likely and pretty heavy. Whereas on my dad's side, the mind remains very sharp at old age. So I'm either going to have one or the other. I'm either going to be like the sharpest old person of all time, or my brain is going to be absolute mush. It's going to be one or the other. But we'll see. Hopefully well, I don't know, dude. Like, honestly, if I had the choice between, like, dying of a heart attack at, like, 70 or living to 90 with dementia, I think I'd rather take the heart attack. It's pretty bad, man. Like, I've seen my grandpa with dementia. It's pretty sad. So, anyways, but I'm just clicking buttons. I've never activated these power-up thingies. I'm curious what it'll do. Don't mind me. Okay. Yeah, I need to fix my my power-up stuff. But Gotta die at 27 like a rock star. Not the 27 club. Oh, you know, dude, so, I was on Reddit this morning. I saw this picture of these two, like, ice skaters. And the caption said something like, said something along the lines of, I hope nothing bad happens, or, people under a certain age won't know what this picture means. Anyways, I looked at the comments of what the picture said. Apparently, in like 1994 or something, there were these two figure skaters. I don't remember their names. I think... Actually, no. I think one of them was named Tanya and the other one's named, like, Natalie or something. We'll just use those as placeholder names. I think the Tanya name's correct. But, the gist of it is that these two ice skaters were going to compete in the Olympics. And Tanya didn't want to compete against Natalie because Natalie is like, oh, I'll go draw now, Ovaries leaving. All right, Ovaries, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a nice stream. Alrighty, have a wonderful draw. Have a wonderful draw. Thank you for joining us. But Appy says, are we talking about the kneecap incident? Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy how, what was it? Tanya didn't want to compete against Natalie, so Tanya had... I don't remember the exact, like, who told what, but, like, her... She asked her, like... Is it her... It was something complicated, like her husband's friend's uncle or something. Anyways, she organized to have somebody show up and, like, try to break her knees so that she wouldn't compete in the ice skating competition or Olympics. But that's crazy. That's crazy. Ovaries is back. Are we talking about the Tanya Harding? Yes. That I only found out about that this morning. I didn't know about that incident. The movie about her is amazing. Is it though? I heard they made like Tanya or something as like a movie. And I heard that it has some like fictional creative liberties with her story and her character. But taking someone out of the Olympics by breaking their kneecaps just because you don't want to fight or don't want to compete against them that's psychotic behavior. And don't listen to haters. Ovaries knows better. Do you though? I don't know. Like, I mean, ultimately, I don't think Natalie or whoever, I don't think she got her knees broken. She got hit with like you know, like one of those like plastic / metal police batons. Like something like she was walking away through this hallway and like the uncle or Tanya's uncle or something like took some form of like police baton like object and like smacked her on the side of the leg. And I think she took an injury to her thigh. Thankfully she didn't take an injury to her knees. But I heard she was out for like 2 months and that she was kind of back competing after that. But that's psychotic, but like baddie. Bad. Baddie. Not good. I don't know, man. It's like, even if you have to do that so that you don't compete with someone in a competition, first of all, psychotic. But second, is it really a win? You know what I mean? Like, if you take someone out of the competition just so that you don't have to compete against them. Is that really winning? I kind of feel like that's just... You can't really say you won against them if you never competed against them, you know what I mean? But bad baddie, not good. Tanya, get behind me. No, I have no sympathy for Tanya. I don't care what the fictional, somewhat non-fictional autobiography says. I also heard that Natalie was interviewed in like 2017, 2018, asking if Tanya ever apologized for the incident. I think Tanya was found guilty by the courts, by the way. This is like an FBI investigation. They investigated Tanya and she was like found guilty or whatever. Or she took like a plea deal or something. Anyways, I think Natalie was asked in an interview whether or not she received an apology from Tanya, and she says no, but Tanya says otherwise. Tanya's like, I apologize so many times and blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, as I understand, they're both alive. Natalie's like... I think Natalie does, like, smaller scale ice skating stuff. She doesn't, like, compete anymore. But she'll do, like, the occasional, like, show or something. Whereas Tanya became, like, a custodian for a while, and then she decided to kind of come back to ice skating. Kind of wild. I kind of feel like at some point you just gotta let it go, you know? Like, there's no way that people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you're... You know... I'm so excited to watch Tanya ice skate. Too bad she plotted to break someone's kneecaps, like, in the 90s, but, I mean, hey, she's so good, you know? I don't think anybody's gonna say that. If they do, it's kind of deranged. But Overy says if you support women's rights, you gotta support women's wrongs. I support women's rights. And supporting women's rights means that I don't support plots to break people's kneecaps. You understand. But Tanya is 54 years old, and she used to be a boxer. Well, yeah, I feel like the boxer part's kind of irrelevant, though, I feel. I mean, I think I read about that, too, in like a sub-thing, but... Kind of... I mean, I don't know. They're both getting up there in age. The older you get, the more dangerous falls become. I mean, not to say that, like, 50-something is, like, a million years old or anything, but... I don't know, dude. Like, Tanya... I don't know, dude. Like, that kind of thing is just disgusting behavior. I don't think like a biopic is gonna change my opinion on what actually happened. Speaking of which, I know Tiger King or something was popular a while ago. I never finished Tiger King. Just throwing that out there. But yeah. Anyways, but I'm surprised Appy heard about the kneecap incident. Like, I didn't even know that happened. So. Anyways. But yeah. That's what the picture was. I saw that picture on my feed this morning on Reddit. And of the two ice skaters. And that's where the backstory comes from. Appy doesn't know why he knew. It's a very obscure, somewhat obscure story. But okay, you better not start talking about some niche topic I happen to be knowledgeable at. I'm gonna go draw again. Okay. I hope you enjoy drawing. Hope you enjoy. But yeah. What other niche topics are there? We gotta bait Overy's back into conversation. Excuse me. You keep using words I don't understand, like calling me Shireen.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Caronis Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly dabblers, our base passions and desires.
Jai starts to twist a strand of her raven black hair around her finger.
Take Aji, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Aji means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmat. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are.
Right. Did you know Theodore von Valancius, my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic speck, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes, that puts you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
I'm not sure who she was to me either, Jai, but I'm the rogue trader now, so... I almost clicked get off my ship. Tell me about your background again?
The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
Right.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too. Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Jai laughs and bids you farewell with a wink. Alright, whatever. Okay. Let's see what we gotta do, shall we? What do you think Azur's having for breakfast? Rice and eggs. But Shireen sounds like Cherie in French, which means dear in French. Maybe she's just rizzing you up. Maybe. Maybe. She is, awfully flirty. However, she also lies. A lot. Her whole career, or whatever you want to call it, is literally just lying. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes she says the truth, but ultimately, she's like a... I don't know what you'd call her, like a... Not forbidden good. Forbidden goods? Welcome into Mochi? Are you seeing another lady? In... What? In the game? No. Oh. Actually, she also lies. Women can't break other women's kneecaps. Can't lie. It's strict out here. It's... She can lie. It's just, in terms of a romantic partner, I don't want a romantic partner who's lying. You know? She's like... Jai is like... She's nice, but I feel like she's there for her own interests on the ship. And she lies. She, like... She peddles forbidden artifacts on, like, a high level. Kind of. It's hard to describe. But we're talking about game characters. So to catch Ovaries up on real life Taku lore. So recently, so what day is it? Today's Saturday. So last weekend, I went on a date off of a dating app on a Saturday morning. And the woman I've been talking to on the dating app is nice, but like I don't know if you've ever been on a dating app, but in my experience, generally, I have most of the time I have to carry a conversation. And the person I matched with the most recently, she was especially bad about it. Like, I would like ask her things to try to like spark a conversation, and she'd answer the question, but with like one word answers and just kind of like leave it there. Despite my better judgment, I was like, oh, surely I should just go on a date and just see what happens. So the first date last weekend, like she was nice, but ultimately we had a date for like an hour and a half, and in that hour and a half she didn't ask me a single question. Like I would ask her like where'd you go to college, and she'll be like, oh, I went to college here. And I'll be like, what'd you study? And she'll be like, oh, I studied this. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I went to college in here and I studied this. And she, kind of the whole time, like, she didn't ask me a single question. And despite that, I should have left it there. But despite my better judgment, I went on a date with her this past Sunday to kind of, like, see what would happen. I ran into the same issue where, like, if I don't talk, she doesn't really talk at all. And then we met up at like 10:15, and the original plan, at least in my mind, was to like talk a bit and then get lunch. Like 11:30 hit, and she was like, I want to go home. So she just went home. And then at that point, I was like, this isn't really working. I'm not really having fun, not really enjoying myself. She literally just wants to leave. So I was going to draft a message to be like, I don't think we're a good match and whatnot. And I took until Thursday to send it. Like, I didn't get around to drafting it yet. But until Thursday. And in all that time between Sunday and Thursday, she didn't say anything. Keep in mind, the only time she messaged me first was like the very first message. She messaged me first. And it was only a GIF that said hello. So, Sunday to Thursday passed. Dead silence. I was still matched for some reason, and then I basically sent a message to the effect of, thank you for meeting with me for these 2 dates. It's nice getting to know you, but I don't think we're a good match. I wish you luck on finding the right person. Something to that effect. And she took like 4 or 5 hours to respond. Usually she responds like immediately if I do send something. She took like 4 to 5 hours to respond. I got a notification on my phone that says she sent me a message, but I opened it and I was already unmatched, so I don't even know what she said. But she probably said something to the effect of okay, if I had to guess. I feel like I know her pretty well at this point. I'm pretty sure she would just say okay. And there would be nothing more than that, so. Anyways, but yeah, kind of rough. On top of that, she doesn't work directly with me, but she does work for the same company. So hopefully I don't see her around, but we'll see. But Overy says, I have a chatter who is a teen, and whenever he talks about potential girlfriends, he calls them, I quote, babes. Ooh. It fries me so much. And OMG, listen, don't even start with me with dating apps. I'm about to start a real yap fest right now. But Ovary says, I am bi, so I got a taste of both men and women on dating apps. And after a dozen or more tries, the only thing that I've learned is that if you feel like this person is not right for you, you just don't give them another chance. I absolutely agree. And I know it may not sound really mature, but really every time I give them a chance, I regret it. Yeah. I'm kind of getting that vibe too. I think it's hard to find someone that I click with. Like, I can yap on stream, but to me, stream yapping is different from IRL. Real life yapping. Like, I could just like monologue for like 5 hours straight and then go take a nap, you know, on stream. But in real life, conversations are not as good for me. It kind of depends. Finding someone I get along with and conversationally is pretty difficult. So, but anyways, we'll see. I've been on like a few dates through dating apps, but just not really fun. And then, to catch you up on more channel lore, so about 2 months ago, there's several months ago. Oh, Ovary says, do you want to hear about my Tinder love to cheer you up? My recent one is a banger? Sure. I don't know what hashtag Tinder love is, but sure. Let's hear it. And as you're typing that, I'll fill you in on lore from a few months ago. I was going to this restaurant I like a lot, and there was this cashier at the restaurant that I formed a little crush on. Anyways, over the course of like 2 months, I finally gained the courage to ask her out. I asked her if she wanted to get coffee. I gave her my number, and she sent me a text. Awesome. But I found out that she's low-key psychotic. So, within a few days, she was bragging to me about like, at her old job, how many times she got written up because of just general misbehavior or like cussing out customers or something, which is pretty wild. She self-described as petty, which was also pretty wild. What else did she say? She considers herself antisocial. She literally declared herself a people hater, which I understand. But like, don't get me wrong. I get the people hating thing. I get the angry thing. I get it. But ultimately, like, I get mad too, but I'm not cussing people out at work and getting written up. She was like, oh, I got written up so many times, hee hee, without getting fired, hee hee. And it's like, haha, I didn't get written up once. I haven't been written up even once for anything. So the idea that she's just cussing people out and bragging about how many times she got written up is like, I don't think we're compatible. So I sent her. She got sick. We couldn't go on our date, and then we were talking over text to get to know each other, and then we have like nothing in common, so she was just kind of like, I'm not sure if this will work, and I was like, yep, I don't think it will either. Nice getting to know you though. Have a good day. And that was it. So, yep. Gotta cut the red flags loose when you can. But Ovary says, I'm a woman, and recently I decided to go on what I assumed a date with a woman, and at first she was like 30 minutes late, and 5 minutes before she arrived, she was like, do you mind if my friend tags along? And I was like, sure, whatever, lol, and that's not the end. If that happened to me, I think I would scream. Internally, not externally. She arrived and she immediately was like, okay, can we go buy some cigs for my friend? I was like, yeah, and turns out this friend was her cousin, and he was waiting right beside the store, and he went on our date with us, with his cigs. He couldn't buy them because he was 15. Then we found her other friend, and she was 17. So how old is this woman that you went on the date with? Who... What? Who brings their non-adult cousins onto a dating app date as like a third and fourth wheel? I was having this date and a couple of minors were chilling with us. I think I would have been like, yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I've got major... I don't know. Pick a physical ailment. I've got major knee pain. I've got gout I gotta attend to. Probably. I think we're all too young to use that excuse, but I've got gout to deal with. I gotta go home. And then just go home. And this woman is 20 and they're all her friends. Now, I've never been on a date that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, this past date was pretty bad, but I've never been on a date that bad, but I think I'd like to think I would dip out. I don't really have the social elegance to be dipping out, but yeah, if that happened to me, I think I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot something in my car. And then I'd probably just go to my car, key in the ignition, turn it on, and floor it away. And I'd probably message her and be like, I don't think we're a good match, bye. And then unmatch her. Well, then maybe she won't see that. Well, if you unmatch her, she'll get the hint. That's wild, though. That is absolutely wild. I would not be tolerating that. But they were all talking with each other, and I barely got to say a word, and I was like, maybe I slow down and sneakily leave. But that day, I got a bag on me, and my date grabbed a strap from my bag and just dragged it slightly. Felt like her personal chihuahua. No, if that happened to me, I'm out. Absolutely out. No way I'm staying. Insane. Absolutely insane. Barely got to say a word. Like, I've never been on a double date or a date where there's more than just me and the other person, but if that happened to me, I think I'd be out. Even if it was like a consensual double date. I don't know if I'd like that. It'd be too awkward. But hope you feel better about your dates now. It can get worse. I think I need a break. Like, lately I've been like, oh, it would be so fun to have a date. When I'm like, you know, not match with anybody and just like generally lonely. And then when I actually am talking to someone on a dating app, I feel like, wow, I'd rather be playing video games. I don't want to talk to this person. So, you know, it goes to show that ultimately real happiness is right where you are, man. You know? The key to true happiness is being happy with what you have. And for that reason, I'm choosing to be single for the rest of my life. Truly. But Overy says, I'm just too picky with who I tolerate as a friend, so I feel your problem, but I need a long time to feel like someone is right for me. I agree. I agree. No, hold on. We got a Banovator. Sorry, there's a bot. Don't mind the bot. Okay. I don't think you guys can even see the bot. I think it gets restricted. But anyway, excuse me. I also feel like I need a long time to feel like someone's right for me. I need a short amount of time to tell if someone's not right for me, though. Like, the past 2 dates I went on with the same person, I could tell from the first few messages, without even meeting her, I could tell that she was not right for me. The first date, I was pretty certain. The second date, admittedly, I didn't even really want to go on. I did anyway. Because what do I have to lose? It was awful. So, anywho. But no bot was seen, hallucinating streamer. It's on my screen as likely ban evader, comma, restricted. So, it's one of those, like, cheap viewers on blah blah blah, at whatever. So, you know, one of those. I've been seeing a lot of bots lately. I used to see bots all the time, and there was like a period of 2 months where I didn't see a single bot, and now I'm seeing them all over again. Kind of annoying. Anyways. Alright, let me figure out what we're trying to do here. 10 planets worth of scanning data from the ship's augurs as a worthy start to the rogue trader's working relationship. The Von Valancius Protectorate has been destabilized by the disturbances in the warp and the severing of trade and transport routes. Restoring links with key worlds will provide the rogue traders' planets with the supplies and support they need in this time of crisis. So we need to restore the operation of the administrative apparatus on Dargonus, deal with the disrupted shipments of Kiava Gamma, and restore shipments from Janus. My throat's getting kind of funny. I like how I'm just sabotaging your playthrough. You click like 3 buttons in a span of an hour. Yap fest successful. I'll have you know, this is a normal occurrence. Especially with this game. I don't know what it is about. Yap fest and this game go hand in hand. This is what this channel's normally like. So, if you expect gameplay, sometimes you'll get it. But you'll get it between like 45-minute intermissions. It depends on when you show. Sometimes you'll show up and I've been just like playing the game grinding for the past 2 hours. And other times the stream is 3 hours and I've been talking for like 2.5 of those hours. So, don't even worry about it. This, I should probably put a tag on my stream, but this is very much a Yap stream. Admittedly, I haven't played this game for like a month. I put it on pause for a bit, so I don't even remember what we were doing. The certificate of an official trade representative of the Imperium can open many doors for Jai Hidari, but without friends in high places, Jai can forget about her dreams of power and wealth. Bring Heinrichs to Kiava Gamma. Complete a development project with the highest difficulty in any colony. Find the hidden cache. One of the ship's fuel levers is in a poor state. Inspect it and diagnose the problem on the void ship bridge. So we should probably do this one. Critical task. I don't know where that is though. Fuel lever. We need fuel lever. I don't know if you know this guy, but it reminded me of when Germa didn't want to play a game, so we spent 3 hours on a bit instead of playing. One of my old coworkers, like, loved Germa. But I haven't seen a whole lot of Germa. Oh, at Appy, I'm talking about MF. MF likes Germa. I remember he was talking about Germa one time. But no, admittedly, sometimes I show up and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do anything today. It kind of depends on the day, I guess. Some days I'll Some days I'll throw Rogue Trader on and I'll be like, I want to play Rogue Trader, and other days I'm like, yeah, I'll play Rogue Trader. And depending on the day will determine how long the Yap Fest is. But I started streaming because I aspire to be a freakazoid like him. I started streaming because I saw a VTuber freak out about Metal Gear. And I then decided to look into VTubers, and I was like, yes. VTubing is for me. I mean, I wasn't a VTuber immediately, but it was the ultimate goal. But MF likes Germa. I watch him once every blue moon. Yeah, MF likes Germa. I think. I mean, he mentioned Germa in like an offhand comment. But I'm pretty sure he's like a Germa fan. By the way he talks about Germa. You gotta ask him about Germa on Monday.
To what do I owe this visit?
Where's our fuel lever, whatever? Like, what's wrong with our thing?
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Or, more specifically, who do I talk to fix this lever issue? When you approach, Vigidus pulls away from fine-tuning another Vox and bows her head. Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Nah. Nothing interesting, huh? So who the hell has this fuel lever problem? Actually, no. Maybe it's Pascal. I don't know where he is, though. But the captain's quarters, no. Pascal is probably... Wait. I'm gonna have a foil hat moment right now, but I got an idea for VTubing years before it became an actual thing, so when I started seeing people actually doing it, I was like, how dare they steal ideas from my head? How dare they? I had this thought first. The trick is that once you have an idea, a unique thought in your head, you need to patent it. So that way if somebody else tries to take it, they have to pay you money. Which is an actual thing in the US. I guess the fuel lever is gonna explode, or whatever is happening with the fuel lever, because I don't know where to go. I guess the whole ship's gonna blow up then. I mean, oh, there, Pascal's right here.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Why aren't you by the other computer? Strange messages have been appearing in the ship's log. What do you know about this error?
This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded, as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrective data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of placation of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omniscient and the steel angels sent by him.
Okay, but how do we placate the spirits? Pascal?
May your labors be effective and fruitful.
The Vox synth emits a rattling binaric mantra. That's cool and all, Pascal, but... I mean... Inspect the fuel lever on the ship's bridge. What lever? What Activate the control panel? Who the hell is Abel? Why is there a named NPC down here? Oh, the person you saved from the Electro Priest Monastery. The servant of the Omniscient who calls himself Abel Hahnemann. Oh, that's right, I remember now. Is staring intently at a cogitator's vid screen. Wires connect the sacred computing machine to augmetics inside the prayerfully bowed heads of murmuring servitors. Abel looks up at you. After a lengthy silence, he looks away and says stiffly, "The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all." How are you feeling, Abel? The tech priest stares intently at his feet for a while and then says in a halting voice, "The running of the binaric protocols was bogged down and dissolved in false commands. The filter has separated the correct signals from the incorrect. The running has been restored to its swiftness." Pascal speaks softly, as though trying to match the inflections in Abel's voice. The tech brother Abel has passed the diagnostics. The pernicious influence of sacrilegious procedures has been completely eliminated. Statistically, most survivors of the schismatical's infestation are left with severe cognitive impairments. However, tech brother Abel's mind, being less of a typical nature, has not been damaged to so great a degree. Tech brother Abel, you are free from possession, are you not? I trust that you pose no threat to my ship. Abel's voice quivers and his eyes dart around, desperately avoiding eye contact. What was flawed has since been purged. But the shadows of the hunt linger. The cog is dismounted and no judgment has been made. In the absence of judgment, threat remains. Who will make the judgment? I will. Pascal places a Macandandrite on Abel's shoulder and repeats, his voice heavy like a wheel tread, crushing the dirt underneath. I will make the judgment that will avert the threat. His gaze falls on you. There is no need to frighten him. What troubles him so? I assumed at first that this was caused by the shock inflicted upon his system by the schismatical attack, but my tech brother's words are a sign of a deeper reason for his unease. He foresees something that threatens both him and all those around him, and thus I stand ready to face this threat. Overy says, "Are you going to eject this guy from the ship Among Us style?" Yes. Honestly, in a 40k world, we would probably just literally lobotomize this guy and just make him like a door or something. So, I'm gonna announce this to everyone here. Overease is new to the world of 40k. I'll have you know that in the world of 40k, things are not as rosy as ejecting him into space. He would be more useful if we just lobotomized him and turned him into an actual door. We'll make him the mechanism that opens the door. So this game, it offers you a lot of interesting moral choices at points. It'll kind of be like, so this ship that we're on, we're in like the command room, but the ship is actually like, there's like thousands of people on this ship, the spaceship. You can think of like the world's largest cruise ship and make it like 10 times larger. That's pretty much what we're on. We are the rogue trader, so we have like we have the warrant of trade given to us by the Emperor. I don't know how to explain 40k because I don't understand it very well. But I'm getting far away from what I'm trying to say. Let me back up. So, this game will give you options for how to deal with certain problems. Like, the ship is really huge, right? I was given a choice of, like, one of the families that operates, like, the... I don't know, the fuel room or something of the ship is causing a revolt. And you can decide, and another family is at conflict with them for starting the revolt down in the ship's bowels. And you have the choice of, like, do nothing, punish the family that is causing the revolt, punish both families because that second family should have killed them immediately, or just like kill everybody or something like that. this game doesn't play around with that kind of stuff. But spends 40 hours on a game, doesn't understand it. We stand. I'll have you know. The 40k lore is very, very dense and very, very complicated. I believe 40k has been around since like the 70s, and it has a lot of lore added onto it. But I guess the short version of it is that the world exists as it does like today in real life, but we're talking about like several thousands of years into the future. Humanity has expanded to places outside of Earth. So Earth is referred to as Terra, I believe, or like Holy Terra is what Earth is called. And humanity has expanded to like other planets, but humanity is also at war with several other, the forces of chaos, alien forces, alien species. There's like several. They were at war with robots at one point. This story kind of picks up in the middle of that conflict, where so many different species are at war with each other. And humanity generally worships a being called the Emperor, who, I don't know how to explain the Emperor either, but he's like the Emperor is like a powerful human being that humanity treats like some kind of deity. I think the Emperor himself is not technically a deity, but humanity had formed a religion around worshipping the Emperor, and that's kind of like the only allowed religion, and if you believe otherwise, you'll just be killed or something like that. It's hard to... I don't fully understand it, so I kind of feel like I shouldn't be explaining it, but there's a lot to it. But Overy says, it may be niche, but it really reminds me of Transformers of all things. But because it's also from the 70s, and you can also lobotomize people to make them something else. They do lobotomies in Transformers. But my friend is obsessed with Transformers, so I know about them more than I'm willing to admit. And I don't know how to explain the Emperor either. Did you spend 39 out of these 40 hours yapping? Yes. Probably like 25, but a little more than half, but I actually have. But the reason that I can't explain the Emperor is because the Emperor is not really related to this story. It's like, if you take Star Wars, for example, imagine if Star Wars was like 5 times more complicated and didn't have the movies. It's kind of like that. It's like if you only watch Andor, and Andor is the only Star Wars movie in existence, or Star Wars show in existence, and you kind of have to like explain who Emperor Palpatine is without actually having the context for Palpatine, because Palpatine's not involved in Andor. It's kind of like that. But anyways, but they do have lobotomies in Transformers. They made a lobotomy a part of a gay drama in Transformers. What? And that is crazy out there, I'm telling you. In 40k, as I understand, humanity originally had like advanced AI beings to take care of stuff, but the AI turned on humanity, and for quite a few, like maybe hundreds of years, humanity was at war with AI. They finally managed to kill off like 99% of the AI, but ever since then they don't trust AI to take care of stuff. So to prevent corruption of mechanical whatevers, they stick human brains into stuff. So, which are basically like servitors. They'll kind of like lobotomize you to the point where you can only perform a specific task, like opening a door, and then that's just kind of like what you are. You like become the door opening mechanism because AI is too dangerous. That's pretty much what 40k does. Anyways, so to bring the conversation back around, I don't think we're ejecting this guy from the ship. If anything, we'll just turn him into a door. Let's see. What judgment do you two speak of? Only he knows. But if my tech brother fears that he might not make the right decision at the critical moment, then I will do it for him. Why are you so concerned about him? He is not the one you were hoping to find. Answer unknown. I am registering a kinship both between our identifiers and one that is more profound. Archmagos Amranat left an imprint on all his students. It may be, then, that I see some of my mentor in Tech Brother Abel, and so my spirit rejoices and strives to keep him from harm. You care for him as if he were truly your younger brother. Pascal's Vox rasps a tired laugh. Tech Brother Abel is harmonious, and harmony is beauty. Is it so strange an urge to protect beauty from the horrors of the grotesque? But lobotomy maxing. Not the lobotomy maxing. The trick to never running out of doors is to simply lobotomize all people you would otherwise eject from the spaceship and turn them into doors. I will try not to give Abel any undue cause for dread. Thank you. Why do you and Pascal have the same name? Abel freezes. From his Vox synth, barely audible, though through the static come the words, the naming of the names is not an index to the text. The naming of the names is the text. That makes no sense. Also, hold on. I don't know why that got caught. 2 hours drawing details on one thing just to understand it looks weird. F my stupid Baka life. No. I believe it looks good. I believe it looks good. But no. No need to be so hard on yourself. Although I would be probably pretty hard on myself if I spent 2 hours drawing something. But, you know, it's all on the road to perfection and whatnot. So, don't even worry about it. Abel's answers can be enigmatic. His mind works differently from ours. He thinks in harmonic imagery and notices the symmetries and proportional relationships in the world around him. Poetry would be the closest analogy to how he perceives and interacts with reality. I never imagined there could be poets among the tech priests. Pascal looks surprised. Why not? Technolingua is rhythmical, and possesses a broad semantic scope, and some of its more Soronous dialects lend themselves well to individual and symphonic declamation. Also, if you're wondering why Pascal and these red-robed guys talk weird, they are tech priests. So technology is kind of like worshipped as though some kind of like deity controls the machine. I don't know how to explain that, but the gist of it is that tech priests are the ones. They're kind of like religious mechanics, I guess, is the most basic and partially inaccurate way to describe what they are. But that's why they talk weird. They normally talk in binary, technically. Like zeros and ones. Rather than actual non-mechanical language. Pascal, do you understand what Abel is referring to? Negative. However, I will hypothesize. Tech brother Abel is seeking to convey the idea that our matching identifiers are not the key to some vital data point. They are, in and of themselves, the vital data point. At this stage, in my analysis, I can draw no useful conclusions from this proposition. However, the very fact that tech brother Abel is trying to hint at something points to him either being better informed than I am, or having conducted a more in-depth analysis of the situation. That is useful information. Interesting. Abel, could you please explain what you mean? Abel relaxes a little. His gaze drifts to the side. There is silence. Are we overthinking it? It doesn't matter why your names are the same. What matters is that they are the same. Is that what you mean? Abel looks sideways at you, and at once his transfixed stupor is gone. At this point in time, the cycle has been broken and reshaped into a rising spiral, as Armournaut envisioned. On hearing his mentor's name, Pascal lets out a raspy, static-filled sigh. They are connected. My hypothesis regarding Abel's connection to the blessed Armournaut has been confirmed. Fun. Let's see. You know, my official job is a teacher, so it's always very professionally fun to see other people struggle to explain something. No worries. I mean, yeah. The reason I struggle is because I have a surface level understanding of 40k. I only started getting into it about a year ago, and even then, like 95% of my knowledge about 40k comes from the games I've played. I don't do much like reading or YouTube watch, like a little bit of YouTube watching about lore stuff, but for the most part, I don't know a lot of the wider 40k lore. I know the lore as relates to what we're actively doing in any game, but anything more than that, I'm a little bit fuzzy on. Speaking of which, Dawn of War, getting an update for achievements. Once Dawn of War gets achievements added, this is probably going to be like the beginning of next year. I do want to play Dawn of War on stream for the campaign. So assuming that all the achievements are added for campaign and whatnot, Dawn of War is in the cards for us. Currently, I've been holding off on doing campaign stuff for Dawn of War, specifically because there's no achievements, and I thought maybe they would add achievements. They have given an official announcement that they are adding achievements for Dawn of War, so for that reason, I've been kind of laying off Dawn of War a little bit, so that we can play it at a later date. Anywho, point to the cogitator. What are you working on? We catch the soul of the light in the solar wind. We look for the footsteps the Omnissiah left when he walked the desert. This is the... What the hell is this word? This is the... Oniromantic... Oniromantic... One-eye romantic? Whatever. This is the something computation procedure. The depersonalized minds of these machine servants are in a data dream, possessing enormous arrays of assorted data and aggregating them. Virtually all results of such synthesis are scrap data, but occasionally we have noticed coincidences whose exactness defied logic. It is an extremely rare and venerated form of statistical augury, but Tech Brother Abel is adept at this form of appealing to the Deus Mechanicus. Pascal, I got no clue what you're talking about. I got no idea. Why do you do it? It is how we execute the quest for knowledge in the hope that the machine god grants us an epiphany, so that we may discern a logical connection in a mass of absurd data, which will propel our comprehension forward. What? Let's inspect the sacred machine. The hair has been removed from the servitors' heads. Their bulky cerebral augmetics cover their skulls like helmets. The faces of the cogitator servants are blank. Their eyes are closed. Their lips are incessantly whispering what sounds like gibberish. Hundreds of lines of symbols containing information scroll down the cogitator's vid screen. Abel Hahnemann peers at it with voracious interest, in sharp contrast to his usual placidity. Let's look for logical connections within the data. Logic test succeeded. Most of the runes are devoid of any meaning, but you notice a few among them that combine into formulae and computational graphs. Abel peers at you inquisitively, then shifts his gaze to the vid screen, and you could swear that a smile lights up his face under his respiratory augmetic. A crystal is exquisite in clear water. Deviation from the cycle's trajectory has been increased, as was Armanat's wish. Abel lowers his head, and his Vox synthesizer broadcasts a binaric hymn you do not recall having heard before. Its sound is full of vibrant energy, and its precise rhythm is nothing short of pleasing to the ear, a rare thing for the language of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Pascal explains with an inexplicable air of pride. Tech Brother Abel has dedicated a lesser aria to you. The piece is distinguished by a high degree of acoustic harmony, and is fit for use as a motto, auxiliary identifier, or epitaph. Epitaph? I thank you for the generous gift. The gift is disproportionate, but it does signify a personal affinity. My interest in this subject has been exhausted. Abel goes back to intently watching the calculations, his eyes alight with curiosity. Did you hear what Abel said? It seems we have contributed to Armanat's design and deviated from the cycle. What does that mean for you? A low guttural sound rises from the depths of Pascal's Vox synth, as though the planet's tectonic plates are shifting and crushing each other. The mighty rumble brings forth words imbued with power. We follow a path charted by a great mind, but that path leads to dark places. Hold on. I gotta respond to a text. Okay, good. Let's see. The cycle has the advantage of predictability. Abandoning it will plunge the collective into a perilous space of uncertainty, which will inevitably lead to disasters and the risk of universal annihilation. The doctrine of discontinuing the cycle may herald good things to come, or it may be a death sentence. Only the Omniscient knows all and comprehends all. Others are mere prophets who interpret his wisdom as far as their own comprehension permits. And Overy says, text during streams is a real issue. The whole world starts texting me as soon as I click that start broadcasting button. Same. Usually I miss it. I don't really mind getting a text. I mean, I prefer not to get a text during stream, but the problem is that if I need to reply to it, like sometimes it'll be like time sensitive, like you need this, blah, blah, blah. You want me to pick up something, like that kind of stuff is time sensitive. The problem is that since I stream my VTuber model from my iPad, if I leave VTube Studio for too long, then my iPad loses connection to my computer, and like sometimes nothing fixes it. Like I have to restart my whole computer in order to get VTube Studio to work with my iPad again. So that's the only problem. It's pretty annoying, but it is what it is. Anywho, let's see.
I don't know what any of these responses mean. As flawed as the status quo is, it has helped us survive for the past 10 millennia, therefore it is effective. The 13th universal law attests to the truth of your words. The knowledge of the ancients is above questioning. However, drawing the line between the ancients and the fallible ones who follow in their footsteps is no easy task. What? There is doubt in the tech priest's voice. The tone of the thundering profundity drains from Pascal's vox, giving the way to his familiar sibilance. I must take my leave. Abel immediately looks away as if he has lost all interest in you, but then his vox crackles barely audibly. I am glad to see you. That was a super long dialogue. See, I think I'll... If it's not that interesting of a dialogue option, I think I might just skip it. I don't like to skip stuff, but some stuff I'm like, I don't think we gained anything from that conversation. We spent like 30 minutes on that conversation, and we haven't really gained anything from it. But all the babes start texting me when I start streaming. I can't ignore them. And I use my laptop camera for the VTube studio, and I thought it wouldn't work, but it actually picks up everything up nicely. Nice. A laptop. You must have a pretty strong laptop then. It's just easier for me with the iPad. I feel like the iPad face tracking is better. Like, better software. Let's activate the control panel. Fuel system analysis in progress. Diagnosing. No failures detected. System operational. What? System operational, it says. Goes up in actual smoke. I don't... It doesn't look super operational to me. Nope. Okay. Did we do it? Calibrate the ship's Vox system. The ship's Vox system is in need of thorough calibration. Meet with the Vox Master on the bridge to discuss the matter. Okay. Let's move over there. Let's go take a look. We spent 30 minutes on that convo. Be for real. We would have spent 5 if not having a Yacht Fest. And yeah, stream, use VTube Studio, play games all on the same laptop. Nice. And I believe it's not the best out there, but it does the job, so it's good for now. Nice. I use a MacBook. Or used a MacBook before to stream. It like just barely squeaked by. I couldn't have stream avatars and VTube Studio open at the same time, though. I had to pick one. When you approach, Vigidus pulls away from fine-tuning another Vox. My personal log states that the ship's Vox system is malfunctioning. Can you explain? Captain, the Vox Master is caught off guard by your question. It takes her a moment to find her words. The Vox system is functioning as expected, and no communication problems have been reported by any of the crew. Please allow me to check the system's calibration settings in your presence to alleviate any concerns you may have about its performance. The Vox Master's thin fingers dart between hundreds of wires and cables on the control panel. Flipping switches and turning dials, she issues commands and methodically checks the lines of communication with the crew on every deck. At last, accompanied by the sound of static, the crackling of the Vox, and the flickering of signaling lights, the dance of her hands concludes. All finished, Captain. No issues detected. The system is working as expected. She studies your face as she awaits your response. Thank you for your service, Mistress Tillman. Captain. She offers an unusually deep bow, likely using it to mask her confusion. Okay. Kinda sus, but alright. Strangely sus. Okay, but at least we can move on. Let's move on. But Overy says, Mr. Streamer, do you have an opinion on the new Silent Hill? No. I haven't seen too much of Silent Hill F. The reason being that I do want to play it eventually, but not anytime soon. I played Silent Hill 2, the remake, and it was good. But that's kind of all it was. Like, it was like just... It was solid, but it didn't quite like suck me into the world of Silent Hill, I guess is the better way to put it. I got no real opinions on it. It's just okay. Silent Hill F, I know nothing about. I do want to play it at some point, but not anytime soon. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, on a pretty deep sale, actually. So no opinions. No opinions. I don't know much about it. But Silent Hill 2 was nice, not the best, but I guess I have to keep in mind it is 20 years old. It was probably better for its time. I've seen YouTube videos analyzing the comparison to the original, and I think it's actually very thoughtful and very confusing at the same time. I like a lot of... I like the thought that goes into a lot of its, like, symbolism. It's very clear that somebody, like, actually... It's both very intentional and absolute nonsense at the same time. I think where my confusion comes in is, like, what... In terms of Silent Hill 2, I'm confused about what Silent Hill is, how it exists, and the analysis video is saying something like, oh, it's a result of the main character's like life regrets, or how he feels about his wife or something, and probably not a spoiler, but and the way that other characters feel about something causes this, and blah blah blah. And it's like, so is Silent Hill a real place, or is it not a real... Am I seeing things that are real? Is this actually happening in the real world, or is it like... Anyways, hope that's not a spoiler, but Silent Hill F is visually nice, but I'm struggling to understand what the developers want to tell us with the story. But I'm not fully done watching playthroughs, so maybe I'll understand later. But for now, it feels like there are clear metaphors, but there's context lacking to understand them, as if I skipped one episode of a show and now I have no idea what's going on. That's what Silent Hill 2 kind of felt like. I'm not really sure what the point of a lot of stuff is. Like, I see the symbolism. I see the metaphors in Silent Hill 2, but it's that disconnect where I'm like, I want to know what's real and what's not. At least by the end of... Like, if you're in the middle of it, that's fine for me not to know. But if I finish the game and I'm like, I don't know what I just witnessed. Lately, I haven't really been that big a fan of that kind of thing. Like, that's what I've been noticing. I played Signalis as a good example. Like, that... I played Signalis. It was interesting, kinda, but then once I finished the game, I had to watch a like YouTube analysis to explain what I even saw. I recently played No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I'll have to look up a YouTube video for that too. Silent Hill 2, I'll look up a YouTube video. There's a fine line between saying something profound but confusing, and then just saying absolute nonsense and then having to watch a YouTube video to piece it together, you know? I don't know. Anyways. But Overy says, I understood that Silent Hill 2 was about guilt and repressed sexuality, so at least some basic level understanding. But the new Silent Hill, oh man, every other moment I go like, okay, so it's about patriarchy, but also about women's issues, and also about body autonomy, and also like, pick one. It feels like it wants to be deep, but also doesn't know what it actually wants to say. No, I I get it. I can be kind of critical of the things that we play sometimes. I think that games are should be measured by two things. One being how much you enjoy the game, and the other being how well does it set out to achieve what it seems like it's trying to achieve. So I was using this analysis with we played a game called Until Then the other week, and that game is not really clear on what the message is or what the story is to begin with. I kind of feel I don't understand why it's rated so well. But I think the reason I rate it kind of low is because I don't understand what the point of what we were doing was. And I feel like there was meant to be a point. So, yeah, if I were to experience that feeling with Silent Hill F, I'd probably rate it pretty low. I mean, I haven't played it, obviously, but yeah. My point being that if you're trying to set up a story about patriarchy, but you proceed to tell a story that's muddled with other things that kind of take away from what the original point was, then to me that's a failure of storytelling. There's nothing wrong with having a complicated story, but ultimately, if you're trying to tell a specific story and you're not successful in doing that because of the complexity of whatever you're trying to say, then it's a bit of a failure, in my opinion. And at some point, I guess you got to give up and tell yourself it's not that deep. Maybe they literally mean what they show and there are no metaphors. Could be, but I think it's important to measure by intention. If it's intended to be deeper but it's not, then that's a failure of game storytelling. But if it's intended to not be deep and then it isn't, then it's whatever, you know. If you set out to tell a story that's confusing and it has no deeper meaning, then that, to me, that's a success. But yeah, if you're aiming for something different and you don't achieve that, that's a failure. Overy says, every time I have this thought, I feel like an illiterate TikTok kid. Me IRL. You know... Oh. Ovaries, have you seen... I think it's... Wait. TikTok? There's a guy, I think he was on TikTok. He's the... Did you see the I Need More Bullets guy? If you search, like, I Need More Bullets TikTok, you'll probably find it. But there's, like, a guy that, he pretends to be some kind of soldier. And he'll, like, look straight into the camera and he'll be like, I need more bullets. I need more bullets. And then he waits for people to donate. Oh, I don't have TikTok, by the way, so I've seen nothing. Okay. I have TikTok, but mainly to advertise my channel. I don't like browsing TikTok, but anyways. There's a guy dressed up in a military uniform, and he's like, I need more bullets, I need more bullets, and he looks into the camera. And once he receives enough donations, he will stand up, he'll turn around, and he'll pretend to shoot his gun, and just, like, shake his butt for, like a straight minute. It's pretty wild. I think he was on the brink of getting banned, so I don't think he does that anymore, but it's pretty funny. It is pretty funny. Oh, shoot, already explored. No! Okay. Where am I going? Give me the map of the Coronis expand. Get out of here, Heinrichs. Nobody likes you. Now, where do we need to go? We have quests. I guess the question marks are places we haven't been, so we can go this way. Or here? How do you get there? I guess warp travel here. Captain, we have an emergency. We have received word that there has been a sighting on the lower decks. The Vox Master's voice breaks. A sighting of Lady Theodora. The messages we have received are incomplete and vague, little more than yelling and hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on for yourself. The situation is delicate and, what's especially disturbing, there are mentions of Adira class being present at the scene. What is Adira doing there? Adira broke her microbead, so I wasn't able to find out anything from her, but Captain, Adira is a psyker and we are in the warp. You are the only one who would risk setting foot in that compartment. And if you do not, we will never see Adira again. I beg you, Lord Captain, do not ignore this matter. Despite the carefully maintained distance, Vigidus's voice trembles with fear. I'll deal with it personally. I need the exact location. Right away, Captain. Oh, we don't have Adira. Nobody likes Heinrichs. Get him out of my... whatever. Okay. Let's see. The guy is cosplaying a stereotypical American. You would think. You would think, but not in this case. Damn it. I don't want to level this guy up. He doesn't deserve my attention. Nobody likes Heinrichs. What level is everybody? 18. Insane. Alright. Let's see. I think I already have Assassin and Vanguard, so we'll do Arc Militant. Sure. Ooh. Reckless Rush is pretty cool. I wish there was like a small notes type thing. I mean, I don't mind this like long summary. I just wish that there was like a really short summary because there's like a million skills. We'll do Reckless Rush. I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. Does Ovaries deserve a sandwich at 23:53? Yes. Yes, you do. Eat your sandwich. Eat your sandwich, queen. Anyways, let's see. Eat your sandwich. Gains 6 weapon, 10 ballistic until the end of combat. Not bad, I guess. Sure. Alright. We're finally going to see combat.
The machine gun grants me insight.
The instrument terminal, an important part of the compartment's internal infrastructure, appears to be in working order. Benevolent streamer allows chatters not to starve. Do not starve. Go eat something. Don't be like me. The cogitators regularly display reports on the screens, endless chains of symbols, many of which only high-ranking tech priests can likely understand. There's something warp-related going on here. What the... It's Theodora. Kind of. Aren't you dead? And who now deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself, who has finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Theodora von Valancius is before you, and she looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest. Rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen, inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers, as though it is dropping in and out of this reality. She looks at you with the whitish eyes of a corpse, and smiles venomously. Rogue traitor, we meet at last. I had grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Theodora's look is appraising, and her mocking tone turns to one of distaste. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I left behind, has gone to this non-entity. Argenta's eyes spark with fury. Warp illusion, begone! Argenta, my dear, there is no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings, or help you with your childish treasure hunt. Theodora laughs melodiously, almost without mockery. Scary music. Not the scary music. At the sight of the terrifying Theodora, Abelard's face turns sickly pale. Throne spare us from the accursed apparitions of the archenemy. Is that what you are truly praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding. Wazarian, I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. What are you? Theodora's lips curl in a malevolent smile. What? You ask? How dare you say that to me, little boy? I am Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scarus, the rogue trader of the Imperium and commander of this void ship. Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off as long as I could. But do not weep for me, my boy. I am still keeping an eye on my property, and punishing all those who failed me. Theodora bares her rotten teeth in a snarl, her laughter piercing. So, Theodora is the former owner of this void ship. We're pretty much like a relative of Theodora. Theodora was looking for her next successor for the Rogue Trader title. She died. And we pretty much got the title because she died. But now we're traveling through the warp, which is kind of like, I don't know how to explain the warp either, but you could think of the warp as like evil magic. We're using evil magic to travel through galaxies. Anyways, so because of the evil magic, now some magic ghost Theodora has appeared, I guess. What do you want with me? Why were you waiting for me? Theodora wearily rolls her eyes. Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breach death's veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help? And from my little Adira, no less. And once I appeared here, of course I had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs. Where's Adira? What have you done with her? Me? What have I done with Adira? Theodora laughs mockingly. All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics. I provided her with everything she could ever dream of. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Adira. You're not Theodora. Theodora is dead. There is no coming back from that. I'm dead. How is that? I am no different from those who have not yet crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see. I see. I speak. I remember the wrongs you all committed against me, and for all those who failed me, I have already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora, the remnants of herself that she left behind in this world. I am an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I am the taste of tears spilt for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of who she failed to turn the tide of... I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and who refuses to look truth in the face. I am as real as the human passions that bring worlds to ruin. Can the lady already reveal her villain plan so the scary music would stop? If you are Theodora, then tell me who really killed you. Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying. To give you an honest answer, or leave you to languish in your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy. I'll send you back into the abyss you crawled out of. You, of all the people to ever threaten me, you are the most pathetic, boy. All that you possess now was given to you in error. You are unworthy of such a generous gift, and you are incapable of holding on to it. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir. You, who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I will drag it all to the warp with me, including you. She's like an anime villain who has a 30-minute monologue before revealing it all, and she keeps calling you boy. A Kratos moment.
Never doubt me.
The lines on the screen looks fuzzy, as though the Cogitator's readout system or data storage has been damaged. The people's remains have been hideously mutilated. The flesh seems to have melted at the edges and is thickly coated in stinking mucus. Gross. The wall lining is dented as though someone tried to break their way out.
See, right there.
Labored stuttering growls and periodic rattling comes from beneath the case. Gross. I don't know why I can loot these crates. I mean, the whole ship is mine. You know what I mean? It's like I'm stealing from myself. Are these workers gonna attack, or... Okay. But where did it go? I saw it right here. Only darkness can be seen in the open breach of the macro cannon. A huge cell ready to be loaded into the macro cannon breach. Okay. So I'll just keep walking? Oh, Theodora's right up here. Ma'am? A spilt liquid, cloudy and carrying a strong chemical smell. It is the coolant used to stabilize the major cogitator systems. Where is she? I clearly remember her being around here somewhere. Such a goofy runaway. Oh, Adira, no! Ah, there you are, my little coward. Why won't you look at your captain, Adira? What's happening? It's wrong. It's all wrong. Look at her, boy. My little Adira is utterly trapped in her visions. Adira's a psyker. She's on our team. No matter. I will allay your doubts. Captain? Adira turns her head to you. but her demented gaze only rests briefly on your face before sliding away. Up close, you can see that the base of one of Adira's temple implants has blackened and melted. No, wait, Captain. Lady von Valancius. Adira raises her eyes to Theodora, who stands before her. Tears stream down Adira's cheeks. You came back. Overy says, I have a question to Mr. Streamer, but I'll hold on to it until the bad music stops because I know we're going to get stuck on it for 15 minutes. Okay. Sounds good. I'll await your question. Theodora clucks her tongue in sympathy, reaching out to tenderly stroke Adira's hair. Poor little Adira. There. How could I not come? You were crying for me so desperately, your pleas carried to the very depths of the warp itself. The smile suddenly drops from her mutilated face. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself. Theodora's fingers dig into Adira's scalp, meeting no resistance. Adira lets out a soul-chilling howl and tries to grab the hand tearing into her, but her fingers pass through the monster's flesh. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything that could have had anything to do with you. I'm sorry, Captain, I failed. Ah! Adira breaks into a strangled scream, and you feel the air around you grow rapidly colder. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims it at Adira, who is struggling in the monster's hold. The Sister of Battle looks at her without an ounce of doubt or mercy. We'll tell Argenta to stop, because I don't want Argenta to kill Adira. Argenta, stop! Argenta wrinkles her nose at your shouted command and lowers the weapon by a few centimeters, but she does not put it away. I don't think we can attack Theodora, because I think Theodora's some kind of ghostly apparition. I don't think a bullet would hit her anyways. So, to kind of clarify, I'm sorry, Captain, I failed. So, to clarify, Adira is a psyker. She can connect her mind to the warp, as far as I understand, right? So the warp being kind of like a dimension of magic that can possibly corrupt you. Currently, every time we travel through, we're able to move our spaceship through space very quickly because we can open portals to go into the warp and emerge out like several, I don't know, light years away, right? So that's how we can travel through space so fast. Adira is one of my psychers who has a connection to the warp, which means that she can be very powerful in magic, but it also means that she can be corruptible if the warp manages to take over her mind, as I understand. So, that's kind of what's happening right now. We're in the warp, and Adira is getting corrupted. That's pretty much the problem. Adira, I am your captain, not her. Listen to me and snap out of it. Persuasion test succeeded. Adira shudders and goes limp. Then she blinks, disoriented, and looks at you. Captain. Damn it. Theodora shoves the psyker away with a low snarl. The rogue trader's body begins to change, losing its human shape. Chaos will devour you. It will devour everyone responsible for my death. Die. Die for the delectation? Oh. No, that's not as big as I thought. Oh, there's more than one though.
This will be your downfall.
Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. I'll drink water. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. My voice is actually kind of going out, so that's perfect. Thank you. Alright. It's been a while since I got into a fight. Argenta still kind of sucks for me, so I'm going to put her back line. Cassie up front. Heinrichs, I haven't used Heinrichs for a while because I don't really, honestly, I don't really care for Heinrichs. So we'll just see what happens. Okay.
I am a navigator,
We'll tell
not a
Abelard
servitor.
push.
I'm
I'll
not
give
accustomed
Abelard
to being ordered around.
a turn. I'll have him charge.
Someone else can do this.
Can't charge. Abelard can move though. Yeah. Why did this get held? I have no clue why that got held. There was nothing remotely weird about it. Does Mr. Streamer watch anime? Has he heard about the summer Hikaru died? I've heard of the name. I haven't watched anime for a while. I used to watch a bunch of anime. My favorite anime is because of the D word died? What? My favorite anime is Violet Evergarden. That's the best anime. And I like ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Licorice Recoil was pretty good. I don't know why that doesn't have a season 2. I also watched anime on the trashier side, like 100 Girlfriends is really good. My Dress Up Darling, I wouldn't say that's trashy. That's pretty good. Kaguya was good. Quintessential Quintuplets was a little on the trashier side, but it was pretty good. Jujutsu Kaisen, I got like 2 or 3 episodes in and then I dropped it. Same thing with Demon Slayer. I got like 5 episodes in and I dropped it. I'm not a big fan of shonen, so anything that has fighting, anything whose main focus is fighting, generally I don't watch those. So any of like the big stuff, like Chainsaw Man, I did finish, but it was just okay. My stance on fighting animes is that if the main selling point is fighting, I would prefer to just watch it on YouTube because then I can just watch the fight scene and not have to deal with the story. But you gotta watch Jujutsu Kaisen, not for plots or fights, you gotta watch it for the yaoi. And gonna go see the Chainsaw Man movie soon. Nice. Nice. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, I'm not...
Target well struck.
I'm not, like, very anti-Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm just like, it's just not really for me, you know?
Indeed.
Anything with a focus on fighting, I just can't get into it. It has to be, like, very plot-heavy. I like more plot-heavy. Oh, 91 Days was pretty good. That one, the animation kind of sucked at some points, but the story was really good. That was an anime about this boy who gets his family killed by the mafia. He like skips town for a bit and then he rejoins the mafia with the intent of finding his family's killers and getting close to them so he can enact his revenge. That was a pretty good anime. But I haven't started the second arc yet, only the first one. A nice piece of manga in my opinion, especially because Dennis is quite an interesting character if you don't look at him as a gooner. Nice. I watched Chainsaw Man Season 1 like maybe 2 years ago or something. I think I watched it like as it was releasing. But I haven't had a Crunchyroll subscription for quite a while now. I told myself I was gonna get the subscription back once My Dress Up Darling Season 2 finished, but I haven't got around to it yet. And you have Goju. You have Gojo style glasses. Approved. Thank you. I'm wearing them in real life, by the way. These are what my glasses look like in real life. So, I'm actively wearing my glasses as we speak. But thank you. I try. What can I say? I try. Also, I know this is really random, but dude, I gotta take a piss. Sorry. Also, I feel like my model's kind of high today. Gonna move my model down a little. Okay. I'll be right back. I gotta take a piss. BRB. Enjoy the brick screen. All right. Whew. Sorry, dude. I had to piss. But I'm good. I'm back. But Overy says, go piss boy. Thank you, thank you. What can I say? And I'm taking a friend to see the Chainsaw Man movie with me. She knows nothing about it, so I wonder what she'll think when this guy turns into a chainsaw. What I don't get, like, he has the little, like, string thing on his chest, right? To rev the chainsaw. What happens if someone just cuts the string? Is it just, like, not cuttable? If someone cuts the string, does he just not turn into a chainsaw anymore? And what happens if he accidentally revs it? Like, he's taking his shirt off and it just, like, gets caught on the string. And he revs it. Does he just... Anyways. Alright. Back to it. We'll give a bonus to armor here. Well...
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Hover efficiency here.
If I may.
And then kill zone stratagem. Oh, we can only kill zone on a specific spot. Okay, that's fine. Oh, nice Warpadira. You missed, but not bad. Oh, what the? Oh, there's a lot more than I thought there were. Adira's working without me somehow. How do you have this many turns? I don't remember ever having this many turns with one. Dude, what the? Adira's got like 20 action points. There's no way, dude. I think we're dying. And he just grows a new string like a lizard's tail. And not scary. Is the music too loud? Let me know if the music is too loud. It does seem a little bit louder today than normal. I can turn it down a little bit. If that'll be better. Yeah, I feel like I turned the master volume down a little bit. Maybe that'll be a little better. Alright, Argenta. What are we doing? I don't know if I should... Oh, this is kind of a risky shot, actually. And it's loudish? Okay. 85% done with the thing I've been drawing. Oh, is it still loud, though? I turned it down a little bit. Is it less loud? Should I make it more? 80. I feel like that's a little better. But yes. I hope the drawing thing is going well. I'd be scared of music sometimes. It happens. It's okay. I'll finish the fight as soon as I can.
Doubt is for the weak.
Damn it. I should have... Wait, I should have buffed first. Why didn't I buff? Nah, whatever. I need to... Honestly, I need to take Adira off. Or Argenta off the team. Argenta's not that great.
It will be done.
Shoot. Sorry, it's been so long since I did combat in this game.
Victory is imminent.
I'm making some really dumb mistakes. If you've never seen this game before, you probably can't tell the mistakes I'm making, but... I'm basically a...
These ruby flashes are choking me.
I'm basically attacking before I buff. That's the main issue.
Don't touch me.
10 strength and toughness till the end of combat.
Let's see to it.
And... I don't need a reckless rush.
For the throne's glory.
So we'll do that. Then we'll move over and we will... leave everything in front of us.
Get me a target.
The Inquisition sends their regards.
Heinrich's kind of sucks. Heinrich's kind of sucks. Welcome into Crusader. Welcome in. And 80's nice. Thank you, thank you. Abelard, Bonk the Heretic, your good day, your lordship. How's the trading been? It's been good. And hello to Overease. How have you been enjoying the stream? Welcome in, Crusader. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. How are you? I forgot to reply in the Discord. But sad you couldn't make the Marvel Rivals.
On it.
Marvel Rivals stream. It was a fun time last night. It was a fun time.
Be gone.
I need to buff Cassia. Buff Cassia. Wait. We did voice of command, so we'll... There we go. Regain some hit points.
Who if not me?
Oh, that's... Sorry, I thought press advantage was on somebody else. Oh, yes. Oh. Hold on. I gotta pay attention for a second.
Emperor, protect me.
Okay. I've been sabotaging him actually playing the game for quite a while. Professional distraction over here. No, I appreciate the chats. I appreciate them a lot. I'm gonna try to heal Cassia. Ouch! Okay. And then... What is this Anakin Skywalker looking thing? Elusive Shadow. Lowest priority target. I'll do that. I should have done that first thing. Who's okay? Cassia is next, so I'll move. I don't know. I need to move Pascal out of the way. I don't want to walk through people though. I'll just move back. And then we'll do this. Okay. And then expose that guy, I guess. Okay. And amazing isn't it all Chatter's jobs to distract our streamers? I'm very proud. I am very thankful for you guys. Thank you for distracting me. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. I know that sounds sarcastic. It's just my voice. Thank you for it. I appreciate the company.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
And... okay.
Witness the
Let's go.
fury of House Orcelio.
3 down. Not bad. Okay. We're gonna finest our Abelard. I'm worried about this warp beast of like almost 150 health. And we're going to sworn enemy this
Tried and
guy.
tested tactics are the best ones.
I'm gonna reckless
At your
strike.
beck and call.
And I'm going to defensive stance just in case I get countered. And we'll just
At
slice
your
this
beck
guy.
and call.
Nice.
Just a
Okay.
minor setback.
Defensive stance didn't really work, but
I
keep
will
slicing.
do like you.
Abelard is just a one-man
At your
army.
beck and call.
It might just be how I'm doing the skill trees for everybody. But everybody else is like, compared to Abelard, everybody else is kind of useless. Abelard is just broken. We'll increase the...
I
working
am a
power for
navigator,
Abelard.
not a servitor.
Oh! Get him, Adira. Get him, get him. Adira over here with the unlimited action points for some reason. Oh, nice parry. Rough that didn't connect, but not bad. Hold on. Why do these keep getting auto-modded? To be extra sure you got your point across, indeed. Do you get anything when I send messages using these points, or is it just for my ego? No, I get it. It appears as like a giant purple highlight for me. I can see it, though. I can see it. And do you always talk like a noble knight, or is today a special occasion? You mean in normal speak? You think I talk like a noble knight? I wouldn't consider myself a noble knight. Am I? Or is it... You're talking about Crusader, maybe? But, let's see. How... I don't want to do the over-penetration thing. Because if I shoot through this worker, I'll hit Abelard. I'll just shoot this guy.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Victory is imminent.
Sworn enemy, that guy.
Indeed.
Reckless strike.
It will be done.
Defensive stance. And slash him. Not that great. This noble knight thing was addressed to the other chatter. Oh, Crusader. It was held hostage forever. No worries. But no, Crusader is my scribe. It is his job to speak that way. I would expect nothing less.
But of course, Lord Captain.
It is absolutely 1000% Crusader's job to talk that way. Oops, wait, not that one. Well, wait. Sworn enemy.
I won't object to it.
Increase deflection.
Let's see to it.
Okay, that wasn't very smart. I used too many. In my defense, I don't usually use Heinrichs. Ooh,
Brace yourself, Abelard.
that's rough. Shoot.
It's as good as done.
I'll do Abelard one more time. And we will... Reckless Strike, the Blue Horror.
Reduce the
Nice. And we have Daring Breach.
themselves. At your beck and call.
That is rough, Abelard. That is so rough.
It will be done.
That... Abelard, this is embarrassing. Nice. Okay.
I took care of this.
Alright! That is all the enemies in our immediate vicinity. There's ones coming up the stairs, but I'm not worried about those guys. Oh, wow. Abelard can move pretty far, actually. Okay, go slice that guy then.
A tactically sound approach.
Oops, there's one more over here. Damn! Not bad. It was just a little bit that I like to do for my namesake. I found Taku playing this game a few months ago, have been teaching him the ins and outs of Warhammer 40k. Lord Entities histories aren't my forte, but I look into it for him when he has questions. Thank you, Crusader! A scribe, do your chatters have jobs? Do you have a royal jester somewhere too? No. Crusader is my scribe. I think I enjoyed this one. Do not servitorize them just yet. But no, I didn't lie about spending dozens of hours. I don't know where that pop-up went, but I had a pop-up on my window that said something like 60 hours. We've been playing this for a long time. A Rogue Trader has been like an off and on thing for the channel for a bit. Like, I'll play it for a bit and then I'll take a random break and then I'll come back to it. Take a break and come back to it. So, we've been playing this for a while. But generally speaking, I like to play 40k stuff. So even if we're not playing Rogue Trader, I also play Dark Tide, Space Marine 2. I played Bolt Gun like one time on the channel. Dawn of War I played one time on the channel. I want to play that later this year or at the beginning of next year once the achievements get added. So I do like 40k. No matter what, the chances of us playing 40k are pretty high.
Never stood a chance.
We're just not super far because
You were talented.
I keep distracting myself with random tangents about random things. Analyze that. And my apologies, good sir. To servitorize means to basically lobotomize a person and turn them into a mechanical servant. Yes, that's the door thing I was talking about. But we've officially came a full circle and returned to the topic of lobotomies. Ah, yes. At Crusader, we were, me and Ovaries here were talking about, lobotomies earlier in stream. Let's see. Actually, I think this is the last guy left. I'll just stand here and I'll
I'm not
blast.
accustomed to being ordered around.
Cassia's got a lot of help anyway. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Adira stares at you with crazed eyes while clutching the wounds on her head. At first, no sound comes out of her moving lips. Then she coughs weakly and whispers, "Captain, is it really you?" Argenta trains her weapon on Adira and watches you closely. We can just tell Argenta to kill Adira. Are you alright? Adira removes her hand from her head and tries to wipe away her tears, leaving bloody marks on her face. Then she touches her burnt-out implant, frowning. I don't know. It should be quiet, but in my head the whispering's louder. It shouldn't be like that. This abomination claims that you called her. Is this true? Me? Did I? Yes, Captain, I think it was me who called her. I can barely remember. The voices, my old good whispers, they suddenly turned red, sharp. They started cutting, tearing, ripping me to pieces. I cried out, I called for help, and she came. Adira groans and clutches her head. Damn it, why are the voices making so much noise now? Shut up, shut up! Has anything like this ever happened to you before? Like this? Never. Well, there was something, but it was different. It wasn't as strong or as terrifying. Apparitions appeared, mechanisms malfunctioned, the crew lost their minds. Adira breaks off. But Lady Von Valancius knew about that. She said it was a small price to pay, an acceptable expense. No psyker is immune to it. But what happened here, it was just a mistake. I won't do it again. Adira stretches her lips in a helpless smile, looking past you. There will be no more mistakes, Captain. Argenta grits her teeth. This is not the first time this heretic has caused the death of her crew. Do you remember the incident on the mid-deck, Adira? What did those honest souls ever do to deserve such a fate? To be turned into mutants and attack their own families? You are a monster, a heretic. If you have any humanity left in you, admit what you are. Shut up, Adira moans. Quit your preaching. You're the worst out of everyone here. Sometimes a psyker's first manifestation leads to their death, and the deaths of many others. But if a psyker possesses inordinate willpower and discipline, they can stave off their fall for some time. Adira has been alive many years already, a laudable achievement and a stroke of incredibly good fortune. But the forces of the warp will ultimately devour any psyker deprived of the Emperor's protection. The fact that these manifestations are growing more powerful is a clear sign that the end is near. Let's see. Came here at the beginning of stream, spent 20 minutes explaining lobotomy lore. I am a knowledgeable chatter now. Nice. But yes, my knowledge about lobotomies has been absorbed from Crusader. And Mr. Streamer is doing some voice acting now. Common folk goes wild. What can I say? Aspiring voice actor. I'm just kidding. It would be nice to be a voice actor, though. And what is Ryokan and why are points called like that? Well, my VTuber lore is that I'm pretty much like an innkeeper. I'm an innkeeper of a mythical inn that appears at certain rare times of the night. And the Ryokan is pretty much like the name of the mythical inn. So that's why it's called Ryokan points. I think I renamed them recently. They used to be called Tetras. But I'm not really sure what to call them. Coins, maybe? I don't know. I should just call them Tetras again. Or yen or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's the lore. The previous rogue trader has been seen on the ship recently. Was that your doing? Yes, Taku. I did it a couple times when I'd had too much to drink. At the time, I thought I heard her voice among all the whispers in my head. The voice was so sad, so clear. I couldn't help myself. I answered. I hoped I could reach her, there. Adira bites her lip. Ever since she died, since I first heard her voice in my head, the whispers have gotten louder, clearer, harder to resist. You hear the warp whispering in your head, and you answered, "Are you insane?" You don't know what it's like. The most important person in your life, who's now gone forever, suddenly starts talking to you inside your head. How could I not try to reach her? I had to. She falls silent for a moment. When she next begins to speak, it is in a barely audible whisper. Lobotomy points. Not the lobotomy points. I know what you're thinking. During the warp jump, when Lady Theodora came out toward us, I kept thinking about that meeting. I keep blaming myself. Why didn't I divine it? Why didn't I stop her killer? These thoughts have been playing at the back of my mind day after day, choking me with guilt. And do you know what? The one on the officer's deck, I don't know what that was. But this time, here, this was the product of my guilt. An accuser straight out of my own mind. So what am I supposed to do with you now? Adira turns sharply to face you. Taku, I know after everything I've done, you have no faith in my willpower or my strength. But I can fix everything. I'm just not at my best, you see. But maybe we can find a way to replace my implants, or some other remedy, a better one. Lady Von Valancia said that such a thing could be found, if not here, then elsewhere. I just didn't need it before, but we just need to find it. We can figure out where to look for it, and we'll get it. And until then, I'll keep myself on a tight leash. What will happen to my crew while we look for this remedy? Adira swallows and straightens. I'll pull myself together, Captain. The death of Lady Von Valancius knocked me for 6. I'll get myself under control. No more booze, no more obscura, nothing. And I'll stop walking around the lower decks. I'll be stone cold sober. She determinedly wipes the tears and blood from her face. I feel like a good chunk of this problem is because she keeps drinking. Like, don't get me wrong, the warp whispering to her head is not a good sign, but the drinking doesn't help the problem, you know what I mean? I want to help you, Adira. We'll think of something. Adira covers her face with her hands and tries to hold back her sobs. Thank you. Thank you, Taku. I won't let you down. You are making a mistake, Captain. Perhaps you will find something to slow the decline, but it will not stop it. Only a miracle can save Adira at last now. Adira awkwardly shakes out her stained clothing. I think I'd better With your permission, Captain. She sways, takes a step back, and faints. A crossroads we have... Or, the warp's foul trickery strikes again. A crossroads we have arrived at, my liege. What are your thoughts? If I were the actual captain and this... We live in a 40k world and I know this isn't a game, we gotta kill her. But since it is a game, like, I'm not too opposed to fighting stuff. The fights we've been in so far haven't really been too difficult. I mean, we're not playing on hard, but I'm not too worried about having to fight whatever calamity Adira creates. But it's more of a... It's a mix of a lot of things. I think my curiosity about if I had just killed Adira here, I think I would always wonder, like, what would have happened if I had kept Adira alive? Would all these fights that I'm in the future be easier if Adira were still on my team? And I do like having Adira on the team. It's pretty much like, I want to know what happens. I want Adira on the team, and everything we fought, all the problems that are created by Adira so far are not really that big of an issue to me. But if I were the rogue trader in this universe, and it's not a game, then Adira would have to go. So, but yeah. Anywho. But yeah, sometimes I need to think to collect my thoughts about it. But I think some of it is, like, the warp stuff that's going on in her head, I don't think that's her fault. But I do think that her drinking is a choice. If she has a drinking problem, don't get me wrong, that's, like, not an easy thing for her to be resisting. But at the same time, you can't be one of the most dangerous people on the ship and also drinking regularly, expecting nothing bad to happen, you know? In that way, it's kind of her fault. But yeah, your pursuit of knowledge and desire for seeing more is empowering. Zine Talk? I'm not sure who that is, but I imagine it's one of the chaos deities. And you are very merciful, sire. Thank you, thank you. If Adira creates a lot of issues, we might just have to kill her. But currently, it's not that big of a problem. Captain, the Voxmaster's shaking voice comes over the comm bead. I received a report that the shooting on the lower deck had stopped. I presume you have brought the situation under control, awaiting further instructions. Here's what Ovaries wanted. Dispatch servitors here and put her out through an airlock. Like an Among Us traitor. I am sick of her antics. I got rid of the warp illusions. Adira is alive. Bring her to the chirurgeons and have them see to her. You hear an unconcealed relief in the Voxmaster's voice. Of course, Captain, as you command. Alright, well. That was fun. Let's not try to, you know, have a tiny war zone on the lower deck again, but, you know, that was fun. Fun time. A lot of crew members are dead, but no, it was fun fight. Fun time. It's all good now. Alright, let's get out of here. Get to the bridge. And ejecting Among Us style. Yes, I was simply foreshadowing two hours ago. Wow, it's been that long already. Wow. We're moving. Moving through the day. Let's see. Now, where shall we go? I was originally trying to move through the Coronis Expanse. This whole thing was just a tangent for me trying to move into the Ferabundus system. But now, we have to go from here all the way to here. Trinitas or something. Will reduce route difficulty, I guess. What? Oh. What? Wait. Huh. There we go. Alright. And we're here. Let's check out the Trinitos system. Unknown ships, so we can get into a fight. Let's see. We'll scan this planet. Desert world. Boring. Check this planet out. The name is familiar. I've seen it somewhere in my observer's reports. Zintak is one of the main chaos deities like Nurgle and Slaanesh. Knowledge of trickery, loaded change. He's one of the hardest to represent in games media because of his domain. The Thousand Suns in Space Marine 2 are the Marines that defected to his side of chaos due to a genetic instability in their genetic code. Oh. So, I thought the Thousand Suns defected by choice. They defected due to genetic instability? Interesting. What did the Thousand Suns even... What's the perk of a Thousand Suns? Because each faction has their own, like, specialty, right? Shoot, we need Extractium. Not the Extractium. I'm just gonna fight these ships. Actually, wait, hold on, let me save real quick. We'll save real quick, just in case I die right here. Just in case. We're going in without full health, so... Sometimes during space combat, you will see different types of anomalous zones. Any vessel that enters such a zone, even with only a part of its hull, will receive specific positive or negative effects. However, hover your cursor over the effect icon to find out more about the zone and adjust your strategy accordingly. For example, in a gas or dust cloud, your flagship is slowed down. The dense fog obscures objects in the zone and creates heavy resistance for projectiles, thus affecting the shooting range and accuracy of your void ship's weapons. At the same time, the fog conceals your own position, significantly reducing the chance your own void ship will be hit. Beware of asteroid fields. Any vessel caught in these zones suffer damage each round, but if you manage to lure an enemy into this zone, you'll surely gain the upper hand and make quick work of them. Cool. Pretty cool. Let's fire at this guy. We missed one. Pretty crazy. I totally forgot I called it the Taku Mobile. That's wild. Completely forgot I did that. Not bad. What the? Does that not work? What? And Ovaries is now officially leaving because her kitty demands Ovaries play with her at 1 o'clock. Goodbye, gentlemen. All right, Ovaries, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again. Adios. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Damn. Restart shield. No. I could have sworn I had a ram ability. But the TS, Thousand Suns Simplified, are born of Magnus the Red, a Primarch of insane psychic ability. Magnus's gene seed led his children to mutating after time, called the Flesh Change. Ah. Thank you, Crusader. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh. Oh. We're taking a rough amount of damage. Oh, there's more than two. Okay. Yeah, we have the ram back. I don't... What? I don't understand. We'll shoot this guy. Then... Grab one of these. Not bad, not bad. I wonder if I can turn enough to ram them. Can't. Damn. I can lance weapon though. Ah, shoot, I should have aimed from the right side. Okay. Alright. Not my best turn, but it's not that bad. Rough. Rough. Oh. Actually, wait. I can't ram! Ah! That's fine. We'll do one of these. Shoot, I should have stopped right here and then shot that way. Whatever. It's fine. We're still gonna take out this guy, so it's all good. He's in the fog. Shoot. Dang. How do I restart the... Okay. We'll try that. We'll restart the shields. Ouch. After Magnus screwed up Big E's Warp Gate project, one of Magnus's sons... What the... Oh, you restarted the shields on your flagship. Received no damage. Nice. I just got an achievement. After Magnus screwed up Big E's Warp Gate project, one of Magnus's sons named Ahriman made a deal with Tzeentch, I misspelled it, pronounced Tzeentch, to stop all of the Thousand Suns flesh change. This was done without Magnus's knowledge. What is the Emperor's Warp Gate project? What is that? Huh. Yeah, what's the Warp Gate? Oh, nice amount of damage. Oh, this might kill him. This might be the end of the fight right here. Wait. Never mind. Okay. I can't finish him off just yet. I can't hide, though. Rough. Dang, he's like right behind me. Why don't I have anything that can shoot from the back? Oops. Damn, yeah. We'll just have to move. That's rough. Okay. Ow. Dang, dude. This guy just keeps going right around me. Shoot. We're so close to being able to hit him, but he's just like just outside of where I can aim. Alright. Damn it. Stop running! Stop running! Okay. It's over now. You're not dodging this one. It's over. Got it. Alright. Not bad. I gotta pee again. I just peed like 30 minutes ago. Study 10 planets, nice. Dead world, boring. Actually, wait, don't. Oh! How do I. Yes, repair the hull. Alright. Let's get back into another fight. Also, I was debating whether or not to do Rogue Trader all day. So today's stream has kind of a sharp cutoff in 2 hours. I guess 2.5 hours is as long as I can go. I got some stuff I gotta take care of this afternoon. But the stream is scheduled to go on for at least another 2 hours. Sorry, at most another 2 hours. And I was unsure about whether or not to do Rogue Trader the whole time. So I was considering the possibility of switching to Space Marine for the last hour or two. But we'll see. If you guys are up for Space Marine, we can switch to Space Marine. At Crusader if you wanted to play Space Marine. Or I might switch to Dark Tide too. I'm not sure yet. I played Dark Tide off stream though, so I'm not like super set on Dark Tide. I'm playing Dark Tide regardless off stream. The enemy has launched torpedoes. However, you can destroy them before they reach you. Torpedoes are always fired in salvos, and they do not have shields or hull integrity. Every attack that hits a salvo destroys 1 torpedo per shot. Note, from here on out, you may encounter clusters of small ships that follow the same rules in combat as torpedoes. Okay. But yeah. Oh. Aladari. Have we come across any of those? I've seen the name in Dawn of War, I think. But I don't know if we've come across them. That's interesting. Let's stay a little bit of a ways away. Ah, shoot. Damn. I can't really get a good angle on these guys. this work? Oof. Okay. We're gonna need something that fires more bullets. Oh, this one fires 4 shots. Damn, I should have used this earlier. That's okay. Oh, and this one's just outside of my ability to reach. Okay. Okay, never mind. We're still good. So we'll move up a little bit. And I'll... Actually, we only need to move up 1. And I'll try shooting this thing. What? Did that not take care of all the torpedoes? What? Huh? What? Okay. Little odd. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand anymore. I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna move far away from here. And I'll just hope the torpedoes can't hit me. Oh. Damn. Thankfully my shields were up. That's a ton of damage. Oh, they explode on their own. Okay. That's no big deal then. Okay. Also, I played a little bit of Space Marine 2 last night. There was an update recently, because I guess Space Marine 2 has a demo now. And they updated the game for some kind of like compatibility or something with the demo, or I don't know, whatever. But I feel like the game looks different now. Like, I feel like the lighting is a little better. The game looks a little different. Like, it's very subtle. I don't know if it's just me. What is with these guys just avoiding every attack? What is this? Hollow field. Creates hollow projections that disrupt the targeting of enemy ships. Each attack made by an enemy has an equal chance of targeting either the real ship or one of its projections. Each time a projection is hit, the hollow field loses 1 charge. Okay, so it has stacks 3 of 5. Damn. And Crusader says, small detour here, the Alidari have their own ability to travel faster than light called the warp gates. This allows them the speed of warp travel without even touching the warp, making it so much more reliable and safer. The Emperor saw that and thought, damn, I kind of want to do that too, and began to make plans and even constructing some around Terra. Magnus saw the future, and the future told him that demons would attack, so Magnus used his power to teleport through the warp to meet the Emperor in person so he could tell him. Doing this, however, led to him breaking the warp gate and allowing demons into Terra. This made the Emperor very, very mad. Because of the small tear in the warp, the Emperor had to make the Golden Throne on Terra and sit on it to make sure it didn't get worse. He also punished Magnus for doing something so irresponsible. Emperor never told anyone what he was doing, so Magnus didn't even know how bad he truly messed up. Oh! Interesting. Interesting. The Alidari are a pretty popular... Damn it. They're a pretty popular faction for 40k, aren't they? Oh, shoot. I can't. Can't move. Can't move where I want to. Okay. So what is the... I thought the throne was only meant to, like, keep the Emperor in stasis. Is it meant for more than just stasis? Is it like... You're saying it, like, emanates power or something? Where should I go? I kind of want to turn around. If I try to turn around, I'm gonna get hit by a torpedo, though. I'll just move here. We'll just move far away for a second. I gotta pee so bad, dude. Again. It's all the monster I drank today. What the? Ooh. Round 6 and I didn't even get to move. Oh. See, these torpedoes are a joke. I bet that one's probably a counter. Yeah. Okay. These torpedoes are a joke. Absolute joke. Wait. Can I... Damn, it's like just out of my reach. Okay. Move there. Shoot that guy. Okay. No more of your false, annoying projections. Dang. Damn. This is rough. You know what? I'm just gonna sneak by. I'm just gonna hope I don't get hit. If I do, that'll be rough. But I should be fine. I'm not even gonna bother to shoot these torpedoes. We're just gonna move straight past them. Hope for the best. Damn. Yeah, all we can do is move this way. But Crusader says, I thought you'd ask that. The throne was meant for much more than stasis for the wounded Emperor. Its original purpose was for keeping the warp tear on Terra in check, but can do much more than just that. The power imbued into it does help to keep the Emperor alive. So... Hold on, I gotta stand up and stretch for a second. So, the Emperor... Could you explain... Oh, Space Marine or Dark Tide sounds like a blast with you, my liege. Okay, I might switch soon. But, so, the... Could you explain what the Emperor is? Because I thought that the Emperor was described as, like, every time humanity needs to move in a certain direction, the Emperor essentially, like, every time he dies, he reincarnates as, like, a new notable figure every so many years. And he, like, becomes, like, an influential person that humanity follows. He dies, comes back later, he guides humanity again. But I thought that's one description I read of the Emperor, and then I thought I read another description that, like, several humans had banded together to, like, sacrifice themselves or sacrifice a lot of humans in order to spawn the Emperor. And the Emperor is kind of like a human imbued with magic as a result of all the sacrifices. And then, as I understand, he's not a deity and doesn't like to be worshipped as such, but at the same time, the only official religion of the Imperium is to worship the Emperor. I guess my thought is that if the Emperor can reincarnate, then if the Emperor is wounded and dies, then it's of no real consequence, right? Because the Emperor will just respawn at some point. So I'm not really sure what... I'm not sure why humanity is so concerned about whether or not the Emperor lives, because the Emperor can reincarnate or be remade, right? That's the part I'm kind of confused on. Anywho. Alright, let me shoot this guy. After this fight, I really gotta take a piss. Damn, finally got one. These Aladari are hard to kill. These guys will just live through everything. Oh, there we go. That was quick. Okay. Wraithbone fragments. Okay. But Crusader says, I've never heard of that one. There are many iterations and ideas about the Emperor depending on the author or the book he read. Allow me some time to type out some of the more widely accepted ideas about the Emperor. Okay. Is there no official statement? Or is it just like... Is there no official lore for the Emperor? Or is it all just like, he said, she said? I gotta take a piss. Hold on. I'll be right back. BRB. Alrighty. I'm back. Sorry, I got roped into stuff. The moment I opened my door, I got pulled into something. Apparently my sister has a friend over and they needed a controller to play some multiplayer game, and they needed one from me, but I didn't know where I put my old spare controller that I'm willing to let them use. I have a spare controller, but anyways. I had to go find the spare one, which was kind of lost. So I eventually found it, and then I found that it was like crusty as hell. So I ultimately decided, like, I don't know if I... but by the time I found it, my sister found hers. So... Anywho, all this to say is that the problem's solved, so... That's the important thing. Okay, but on that note... I think... Point of interest, Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. What? Captain, we have received a transmission from the Foulstone. It was sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of Saint Cognatius, whose monastery is the only settlement on the planet. Or rather, it used to be. Some time ago, a transport vessel, the Navika, unloaded several thousand refugees from a planet belonging to rogue trader Winterscale. The Order of the Hammer has judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking your lordship's protection. Those people are victims, not invaders. Prepare my shuttle. I shall head to the planet to resolve this conflict. As it pleases your lordship. Oh. What the... Okay. So what I'll do for now, I'm going to finish up this thing here. What we're looking at, I'm going to finish it up. And then after that... After that, I'm going to load up some Space Marine 2, and then we'll play Space Marine 2 for the remainder of the stream. I think that's what I'll do. Alright. 611 days after the feast of the passing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith, disquietude marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Oh, and Lord, don't forgive misspellings, and lots of voice to chat from me? Okay. I'll read it once it's dumped. So I can read it all at once. After the feast of the passing of Nicodemus Keefe, the champion of faith, disquietude marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls steeped in fear arrived on Foulstone in a star bark. A great apostasy had befallen their home and turned them into abject wanderers, seeking help and refuge. Their wicked and cruel captain, the owner of the Navika, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the world's surface, he most deviously recalled his shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty to care for the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's grim wastelands, the Forsaken people came to the monastery of Saint Cognatius, and there they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fists on its gate and implored and wailed, "Take us in, protect us." And what once was a place of serenity and grace was now full of din, disorder, and all manners of things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife, and mayhap they also the seeds of alluring blasphemies, if fiendly heathens lurked in their midst. Hold on. Okay, so the gist of it is that this is like a monastery world. The only thing on this world is a monastery. Some ship showed up, dropped off a bunch of people, and left. And now all the people are begging for help from the monastery for a refuge, and the monastery granted it, but now there's just chaos inside. After a prayer, the prelate Hectarchius turned his eye to the past in search of instruction. Prelate Hectarchius recalled the first missionaries to set foot on Foulstone's vast wasteland, led by their zeal for serving Saint Cognatius. And those missionaries had received the blessings of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith who had traveled with them in their star bark, to found in this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. And Saint Cognatius, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and a wise artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarian, but stepped bravely into darkness, carrying light in the palm of his hand, and he commanded others to do the same. And not only Foulstone, but many other worlds of the Cronus expanse bear its imprint. Okay, lore dump concluded. So the Emperor is a multitude of different ideas. Many, many years ago, the official lore about the Emperor was that he was a single man on Earth way, way, way before our time, before recorded history. We had Psychers on Earth at this time, and these Psychers saw the end of the universe as a whole. If humanity did not band together, the end of all things would happen. Then they sacrificed all Psychers on the entire planet, forcing all their psychic power into one being. That being was the Emperor. Many, many centuries in universe later, he has done very little to actually help. There is no confirmation on where he was during that time. Then he showed up in the early 30,000 years to an active great unification war, unifying Earth and humanity as a whole. This lore has been redacted and removed officially, reasons unknown. Depending on which author you are reading, the Emperor is seen as just a regular dude that happens to be very, very powerful, leading all the way up to the manifestations of a separate warp entity. The Emperor, however, knows that the warp and the four chaos gods and understands that the type of worship leads to immeasurable power and does not desire that for humanity. The Emperor wishes humanity to be self-standing without the help of chaos in total. The reason why he is being worshipped as a god is because when humanity found a specific planet that was home to the original Sisters of Battle, one person in the ecclesiarchy tricked them into thinking that he was blessed by the Emperor. In a godly sense, these early Sisters of Battle believed him and thought Big E was a god. Over time, as the Sisters of Battle propagated the Imperium of Man, it was more widely accepted that he was some sort of religious figure, even though the Emperor did not want to be seen as one. I mean, if it's 10-foot-tall man, perfect looking in almost every way, with a literal golden aura about him, covered head to toe in the largest set of pure gold ornate armor you've ever seen, shows up, does magic in front of you, and says, "Don't worship me," it'll be a little hard to follow that. I see. Interesting. Thank you for the lore. Thank you, thank you. So Games Workshop had officially redacted the lore for the Emperor? It's odd. Okay. So, if I understand correctly then, he was originally like Psyker sacrificed to make the Emperor who he is, and then all of a sudden that was redacted, and then the more commonly accepted lore, official lore, is that he's just a dude. But his power is more like he said, she said, and the Emperor doesn't actually want that for himself. I think that's what, if I understand correctly. Okay. Interesting, interesting. But thank you for the lore dump. Thank you, thank you. I think I understand a little better now. And Prelate Hectarchius did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and the sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein, victuals, and medicinal herbs and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spilt, and many were trampled or mauled in the stampede, some of them dwellers in the monastery. Honestly, when was my last save? What time is it? Okay. Shoot. I'm not a big fan of this save. Honestly, this save's fine. The problem is that my brain is fried. I don't know if I can actually finish reading this. Like, I mean, I can read it out loud, but my brain is fried. And we actually have a good save, so I think I'll just leave this for next time. Because, sorry, my brain is totally, like, gone. So I'm not ending stream, but I am going to switch over to Space Marine. I think Space Marine would be a little bit better for us right this moment. So let me change my category real quick, and then we'll move over to Space Marine 2. What the? Space Marine VR, Defenders of Avarax. The hell is that? Okay. I can play for about an hour. All right. All about an hour is all I got. About an hour and a half. Also, I'm starting to lag, by the way. If everything is slowly screwing up, it's because I'm lagging. Oh, I know why I'm lagging now. This game is trying to upload my cloud save. That's why I'm lagging. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna end stream for a split second. I'll be right back.